Alright, folks, for those that are watching, this is going to be game 2. Melbournia. We're going to be doing the generic pre-made roster this time around. Game 1 was on Monsters, or with the Monsters pre-made roster. Okay. So there's a little tidbit too. So if both players have the same unit, so in theory, both Lancers should be at tied for 100 CT. The guest player or Team Red actually gets the first turn advantage on that. That's
okay.
it's a tiebreaker there. Because we're both tied in the same slot, anyways.
So no.
Hello.
Hello. What's
Hey.
up?
Am I in time?
We are on game 2. But yes, you are on time. I have the stream up on Twitch. I don't have it on Discord right now. If you do want to pop in and watch, then come on down.
Alright, hold on. Pull up both screens. I'm streaming something super important to happen to one of the Discord communities I'm in.
Maybe.
So there's a little mod for an old Naruto called
What's it called?
there was a very loud stream going on as soon as I opened Twitch. There's a little.
Oh my gosh.
So there's the Clash of Ninja series Naruto games.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there's a community for one of them. They modded Clash of Ninja 3,
Mhm.
or Clash of Ninja 4, and that game, the modded version, is actually officially part of Combo Breaker this year.
Okay.
Which is a pretty big fighting game tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're gonna be streaming the top 4 of Combo Breaker pretty soon, or of this game. I actually don't have your Twitch. It appears.
If you go on the media channel, it should be the Tactics League channel should show up.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't actually. That's the wrong one. That's my key. I can't believe I didn't have you followed.
Okay.
I have FFT Battleground followed. But you guys are on game 2?
Yeah. We did a monsters match, and then we're doing a generic match.
I'm already on
I
a
see
big
you guys-
disadvantage here.
Both brought my girl.
We sure did.
Both
I
brought
was
my
like,
girl.
I'll give her a try.
She's good. I love her.
Oh my lord, that percentage though.
Wait, what is the percentage?
See it?
Oh.
Yeah, that's. Whew. I assume it's gonna be even worse than that. Yeah, that's what I figured.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, 7%.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising. Which is like, holy crap.
Be right back.
All right, man. Hey, might as well try. Yeah, kind of doubt that. I just burned CT off of that for no reason.
I mean, it's worth a try.
It was worth a try. Yeah, land.
I'm back. Back in time for that big arithmetic.
Mm.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm always terrified of Zen.
Yeah, Zen's good on this map. The whole middle area is height of 3.
Yeah. That's the main reason why I was like, yeah, might as well bring it for this one.
Did you take into account Zen when you decided which maps were illegal?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. So the map pool was already like available before before he brought her in. The biggest thing though was taking into account that her arithmetics are limited to the tiles. So yeah, she's going to be good on some maps and she's not going to be good on others. So she is definitely a map dependent character. But however, she's also built to be usable as a melee poker. She has the
Right.
strength.
But I'm concerned more so about playing around her than playing her, if that makes sense.
There's a couple of things you can do. Ideally you stay on 0.5 terrain if that's the biggest thing.
Does this map have any 0.5 terrain?
Yes, it does. There's several spots. There's one should be one right here. That's a 7, but that should be a safe spot technically. I don't know if you can actually stay on that one or not.
I don't know if you can. It looks very diagonal. I'd be impressed if they could put a unit there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Lancer. Poke? Oh, jump. Oh, who did you quit? Oh, no. But yeah, I've been super into the fighting games again recently. So,
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
well, that's my genre of games mostly. I have a lot of weird fighting games that I play. And then also Guilty Gear Strive, because that game is incredible.
Guilty Gear is pretty fun. Been a long time since I played it though. It's like back the last one I played was like a freaking OG Xbox.
Oh, jeez. Steel Heart. Ooh. What percent was that?
55.
That was 55.
Yeah.
I mean, I hit with less. I rented Cloud's Materia Blade with a 22% chance before, so...
Yes, you have. Little luck goes a long way.
Dude, I'm the luckiest. Give this Lancer a Holy Lance and I'll hit every one.
That'd be OP. Too OP. Goodbye, Cloud.
Get out of here. Geomancy is it's too dangerous to be kept alive.
Yes, I agree. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate it is.
Yeah, today's basically been going. I've been trying to play fighting games. I play fighting games. I don't do. I'm just dropping all of my stuff today.
Dropping all your stuff. What do you mean?
Like dropping all of my combos today.
Ah,
It's really bad. It's just one of those days. Like no matter how hard I'm trying, I'm just.
maybe like this sometimes.
Mhm. Big heal.
It is a big.
Pretty exceptional.
Team. That's just a team that does not want to be Ren.
Nah.
What is Ren chance based on?
I believe it factors against target evasion. So these two, especially Lancer, is very evasive. Sentinel not so much,
Yeah.
but because it's facing forward, it's gonna have the weakest chance.
Yeah.
I think it's based on PA.
Oh, interesting. Like now that I got Lancer in here, I'm just like in my head theory crafting. Like, what are some other builds?
Actually hit. Oh, okay.
Was that a really low chance I didn't see?
Yeah, 32. 32% chance for 210. Swung for it, still connected.
Now I'm just like, what are some other interesting builds? You know?
Mm.
Maybe it's time for me to get some starter action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it the other day. It's like looking at actually building the team up at some point.
I'd have to come up with a team. I'd also have to look at the items. I'm sure most people just go for the top tier items anyway.
They do, yes. Safe
Yeah.
to say, definitely build around that.
I think I had a team built at one point, but the problem with having a team built is, you know, like even ahead of time, which is what most of us had wound up doing.
But this will be bad if it hits.
Indeed.
Damn it.
Damn. Arm is still AI controlled, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, in the favor.
But it
of
is in
the,
favor. In favor of me right now. So it's got to either get damage on him quick or like run a little rampant.
Yeah.
That works it.
The problem is all of the rest of his units. Ooh. I don't know if that's as big as hitting a Delita or a Ramza, I mean.
Not as much, but still. Still every little bit
You know what's
change the tide.
a fighting game that I wish didn't die?
What was that?
The City of Final Fantasy.
oh my
NT.
god. Yeah, I used to play the heck out of it.
NT specifically the newest one. You want to know why I wanted it to not die?
What was that?
Because it was fun.
Because it had Ramza, and it could have had either A, Delita, or B, Agrius, if
Yeah.
they had continued making DLC for it.
Right.
Also, just putting it out there, there's a way to play the game and get all the characters for free.
What, NT?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're like, oh, isn't that illegal? Dude, Square Enix doesn't even check up on the game anymore. Literally, no one has been banned because of this process. In case you're worried about that, like,
I ain't worried about it as much.
that's, you know, if I can
Wait.
convince you guys to play NT.
The hell just reflect. Okay, I was like, how did I go all over there?
Speaking of which, I should hop back on the NT server. In case you can't tell, a running theme with the games I play is all of them have already died.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of how it was for me too. I've done a couple revival projects for different games outside of Tactics, Halo 2, Vista,
Halo 2 is sick.
and Shadowrun, the Xbox 360 and Windows Vista ports.
I'm not familiar.
It's it's a team-based first-person shooter that's like based around. It's kind of like playing Counter-Strike, but with like magic. Right, best way to
It's like
explain it.
playing Counter-Strike with magic?
Yes.
Isn't that a shame that Valorant exists now?
Yes. Because that's yeah. Valorant's honestly probably the better way to compare it. It's definitely slower, but it's like it's more or less the same stuff. You have like different races and stuff like elves, orcs, yada yada yada. Each one has like different
but in
affinities.
a shooter?
Yes, in a shooter. Yes.
That's kind of sweet.
Pretty cool game.
What is the PA of that archer right now?
I'd have to.
21.
Well, yeah,
21.
that's pretty big.
Yeah, not bad.
For 21 PA, it doesn't feel like that much.
I think that's
Yeah, shell.
limited to
Protect.
shell and protect. I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
Man, they're showing off all these fighting games, like while we're waiting for brackets to finish,
Mm.
and I'm just like, man, I don't care about any of these fighting games. And one of them's like Street Fighter 5.
Street Fighter 5. Okay. That's fairly old nowadays.
Street Fighter 5 is the newest Street Fighter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking about 4. Actually, yeah, I think I'm thinking about 4.
Oh my, dude, I don't even want to talk about that game.
Yeah, 4 has some questionable stuff.
I gave it a good solid effort to like try it out and not judge it too hard. I picked up Jerry and I was like, oh, this game just doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Coming from Third Strike, it just people keep telling me like Third Strike, like why don't I just play Alpha 3? And I'm like, that's not what I. Ooh, that hurts. Where's the other Dead Lancer?
The
And jump.
jumping.
Yeah, jumping.
Oh, okay, not dead, just jumping. Wait, is that Ramza actually getting an ultimate?
Nah, because I killed the target beforehand. He was when I was on the charm, it was targeting Lux Lancer, but then I ended up killing it beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah, just going to get him out of the way.
Wait, how did he get out of charm? I missed that play.
I believe.
I hit him.
I think you poked him, knocked him out of it.
Okay. That's so rough, right? Because like you want to hit them to get them out of charm, but most of the time, like your ranged units that aren't gonna do a lot of damage with just a poke, like your mages and stuff, they're never in range to poke them.
Right. Usually, yeah, because usually keep him back. So yeah, it's
So you have to poke them with a unit that's actually like really gonna hurt them.
yeah, yeah. Charm could definitely be devastating in that regard.
There's no way to cleanse it outside of that, right?
Correct.
At least, not that we have access to.
No, you have to. Well, no, I don't think it's actually a way to cleanse charm in general.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's just like it's under the same lines as the trader status, where it's like it's not really any way to remove it.
Huh. I didn't know there was a trader status.
There is. Yep, sure
Also.
is.
I think trader status that's in base game whenever you just recruit them. No?
I believe so. I have to look back on that because I don't like you don't really see it in
So you
PvP at
can
all.
just like recruit a unit and they'll leave.
Well, it's like
Or
it's how you like coax a unit to join the party. If I'm not mistaken.
oh, okay. I was gonna say, is this gonna hit? But then I realized you're just gonna use the jump.
That's
I'm
reflect.
surprised this Lancer is still alive.
I like how it just chooses a random spot.
It's not random.
Yeah, it's not random. Yeah, apparently it wasn't. It actually makes sense too because I think it's hit the same spot twice now.
24. No, it reflects the exact distance away from the unit that you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. Why I shot over there.
Yeah. So you were like, what, 2 or 3 tiles away, and it'll jump 2 or 3 tiles ahead.
Yeah.
I realized that because I think
Somebody
it
talking
was
on.
Mikey.
Yeah, somebody was talking on the Discord about that.
No, we were talking about it after a game to see if I could have gotten a reflect to to
Might as well
quick
chance it.
my Delita one time.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty rough for you, look. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it ain't looking good.
Also, did that Lancer hit for 324, by the
Yes.
way?
But that was without protect.
Yeah, still, yikes.
Yeah.
So are Dark Knights too busted to even consider?
As a job,
Yeah.
I mean they are, but if we're talking starter, I mean technically everything's busted.
Everything's gonna be busted in starter.
Well,
Yeah.
in starter, yeah. I'm just saying to like consider adding one to this roster.
I mean Rams is. He's not fully a Dark Knight, but he's like the main Dark Knight in that
What?
regard.
Yeah. What are the Dark Knight abilities that he doesn't have access to?
He doesn't have access to the cone move, I think. I think it's Abysmal Blade, and I think he's missing one other ability as well, Crushing Blow, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's missing two out of the 5. The one, so he's got the HP still, MP still, and then like the AoE bomb that does damage himself. I forgot like what I'm gonna do here. Let's just do this. Actually, no, I better not. Yeah.
I'm just like racking my head. I'm like, what can I do other than throw Chaos Blade?
You also got to keep in mind too, like in starter, there's about specific ability band too, so that could change things up. So like you could have a roster built, but you may have to change the
Yeah, that's like the
abilities of-
hard part.
Yes.
Isn't there? I don't know. Would it not be easier to just ban some abilities outright?
No, because at that point, then it's kind of controversial to what the point of the roster is. It's supposed to be like you can pick whatever you want to do under the limitations of like not having
Yeah, I
like
think
one player
just
having a
the
choice.
reason the reason we didn't play a lot of it was because of the amount of setup time it takes.
Yeah, it can take a while. Yeah, that's definitely something you want to have. Like you want to have the roster at least built, and then you want to
Yeah,
have
but then like there's still gonna be setup time because what if you're like, oh, a roster's built, but they banned this ability, so now I have to go and like change
correct.
theoretically all of my unit up to all of your units.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. I do want to. I was actually talking to Luck about this earlier. About checking it out at some point. But I do want to go back into that and do some revisions possibly later. And it's just been, the generics was like the last thing that was really focused on prior to like the hiatus. And
Yeah, that
so-
was the thing we didn't do
yeah.
basically.
Once we got the generic roster set up, like it was pretty much the main thing until
Like that roster was like a combination of a little bit of barrier to entry and a little bit of like a little bit of the setup time it requires.
Yeah.
My issue with that is I don't know how to like, because I don't play this game. I haven't really played this game too much casually on my own.
Mm.
Like I've beaten the game, but like I didn't know what was good. I didn't use Dark Knight. I never got like to that point. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I think that some of it does take, getting into the swing of things and kind of like seeing what people do and stuff and figuring out
But like
in the
I
sense of what the
just
meta is, if you want to call it
so
that.
yeah, so like someone's gonna build their rosters, and I'm used to like what works here. So,
Right.
and a lot of these are builds that normally probably wouldn't work.
Correct. Most
So
cases.
like, Yoshinja, I need you to build me a core. That's what that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
again, I was thinking about with the website up now. I was thinking about actually doing like a an article that kind of goes over some of that stuff, like with the starter format, because I know it's like it's there's a lot of because there's a lot of access to. I mean, it's access to everything technically. So
Wait.
it
Oh, right. There are uniques still in this.
yes, there are uniques in there, and there's still there's still the unique limitation, but then you have the generics, the 5 males and the 5 females that can be turned to whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just the sheer amount of access to like all the job mastery and all the weapons and gear that really can. Obviously, there's going to be like prime choices for gear and weapons and stuff like that. Obviously, going to go with the in-game stuff, whatever's like the weapon at the end.
What
But
does mime do again?
mime mimics the last action of your previously acted ally. That's all it does. But it is, obviously free costing and stuff. It is instant cast, whatever the action is. So if I drop a Zodiark on you, and that was the last thing that went out prior to mine, the mine will cast Zodiark. I think it has some targeting specifications and stuff too behind it. But it pretty much just copies whatever the last ally
Can it
did.
copy arithmetics?
Yes. Well, hold on. Actually, no. Maybe not. That's debatable. I'll just say that. Maybe I'll have to read on that one specifically. I know it doesn't copy throws.
Can.
Let's see.
I'm misplayed here, actually.
What I'm trying to see is if there is ever a reason to use a mime.
Yes, there is. Mimes, depending on how you set your team up, mimes can actually be pretty dangerous how you're set up. But there are limitations to them as well. Like mimes they can't slot abilities, and they can't put on gear either. So that's it. Like they're blank characters.
Okay, so they can't put on gear.
Exactly.
That's pretty huge.
That's their biggest drawback is they can't put on gear or abilities. They can't react either. So they're slow and they can't react on top of like immunities and stuff. So that in itself is automatically one reason why like you got to be cautious with mimes to begin with.
Yeah, and the reason probably why there isn't one in our roster, because you can't do anything with it.
Yeah. Now,
like in the sense that like there's no customization to be had.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Sigh of relief.
Giving him a heart attack.
Yeah,
It's not nice to give people heart attacks, don't you know?
Sometimes you have to.
Give me a good unit. Like, just build me a good unit off the top of your head.
Probably a tank with like the drain sword. Forgot what it's called.
What, blood sword?
Yeah, blood sword. That might work.
Starter, maybe. If you run dueled, maybe. But it requires having an attack though, and not be in melee range and shit for all that. So you could possibly do that though. Okay, this is Okay. This can actually be bad for me.
Might have a comeback.
Yes.
A tank with blood sword?
You can, or you could just. I mean, you could also just use like darkness. Dark Knight Sanguine Sword does it too, but that's having to stick to an ability and stuff. But you can also run blood swords, and technically, like when you do an attack with an attack or dual wield attack, you will heal for each damage done.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Is it Gafgarian?
Yeah, Gafgarian and Unique has that set up. Yep. Okay. All right. What does he have on?
Give me an.
So that's why I love
interesting
Final
build.
Fantasy Tactics. There's so much stuff you can do.
Right.
Other tactical games don't have that
They don't. Yeah.
custom ability.
They don't, and that's awesome.
Do knights in this have access to every break ability?
Yes. Well, are you talking about pre-made or just talking about in general as a job?
Generics. Or starter.
Yeah. You have access to all the breaks, including the stat breaks like Ren Power, Ren Magic, Ren Speed. Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. Okay. Are guns one-handed or two-handed? One-handed? Two-handed?
One-handed, but they cannot be dual wield.
One-handed, but they can't be dual wield.
Yes.
That'd be kind of nutty if they were able to be dual.
Well,
They
I
can
mean...
be actually. Well, we actually have Mustadio and Uniques. He's actually running dual guns.
Oh.
What's the best gun?
Best gun should be Blaster, I believe. Yeah, this should be like 22 power. So yeah, it should be Blaster. But all the
Blaster?
magic guns, yeah, Blaster. Yeah, all the magic
Okay,
guns
I
are
have a
good
build. What's the best shield?
though. That's variable because some of the like better shields have either high evasiveness or like immunities. That's gonna kind of depend on what you're trying to go with specifically on that part.
Oh, okay. Okay. This one has the damage from magic, it looks like.
Aegis or Reverie.
Yeah, Reverie.
Yeah, that's one that that's what I was saying. Like, that's gonna really
But
depend on what you want to go with.
This one has high evade.
No critical quick. Damn it.
What happens if I equipped a gun and a sword?
You can't.
You
Guns.
can't?
Yeah, guns legally cannot be dual wielded.
Okay.
The only reason why we got on this side is because of line editor. So you can force the slots at that point, but typically no.
I'm looking for a helmet.
You know, I didn't consider the fact that he could just jump. Still, though, you're in a bad spot here.
It's a good helmet.
Man, I love Rom's on this. He's like such a hard scaler, dude.
Good helmet. If you're going for heavy armor, if you can equip heavy armor, then it should be like Vanguard, I
What?
think.
Yeah, that looks like the one. And then I'm assuming chest piece just depends.
Yes. It's all gonna be class dependent. Should be like Maximilian or something like that. Towards the end game armor.
Yeah, that's just massive HP.
Yeah.
I'm building a unit. Oh, I see. I don't need all of that half damage if I take Sage's Ring.
Yes. Correct. But now you're losing an accessory slot. So it's gonna like possibly limit move and jump and all that stuff unless you put it in your moving ability slot or whatever. Or your job gives you bonuses towards that.
Yeah, I see.
Wait, like what I remember from starter is like oh damn, good hit. Mana Shield is pretty needed for a lot of plays. Yato is very strong in general, like especially like I think it's Kikichamunji and Shiri Jiraiden, because one of them can do like damage in a line. It's like a 4 targeting line where you could just like hit straight across. And then Cheerage or Raiden is like really strong up close AoE damage.
Oh yeah.
So like mana shield was needed for a lot of that stuff, but if your opponent, if your guest, because that was also the other thing too, was like you actually need a role who's guest and who's host because that factors. The guest player factors the ban. I am like pretty much fucked here.
Yeah.
The guest player factors the ban and the ability ban, and the host picks the maps. So that's the other thing too. I'm actually planning on doing a map revision here soon as well, because I'm probably just going to stick with small and medium maps moving forward. I think big maps are just not fun in the long run. It just takes forever to get to something. People don't want to take 5 turns just trying to get an engagement period. Even longer, possibly. Oh boy. Alright. Freaking gear. Gear is really screwing me over right now. I shouldn't do that either.
I'm just trying to make a really hard to kill tank.
Go for it.
With a gun.
Per tank with a gun? Okay.
Yeah?
Go for it, man. That's the whole point of that setup. Or save. It's just build whatever you want. The only thing...
It's just hard because I don't know what, like, you know, what's going to be more effective. Just looking at the stuff, you know.
Like I said, some of the more effective stuff that I remember is like Iado's very strong, like S tier abilities in general. I think we actually had actually now think about it, I think there is the metagame channel, it should be pinned, where we actually talked about like ability rankings and starter.
I'm going to send you a picture, and you tell me what you think so far.
Okay.
The equipment is the part that I don't, like, I'm not great at.
Oh no, what?
Oh.
Okay.
I've not been watching. What has happened in this game?
I made a comeback.
Yes,
What?
correct. Yeah, it's like Ramza's. So my biggest problem with Ramza right now is I can't status him because of his gear, so it's making it harder for me to slow him down. And then in addition to that, because of him with defender and parry, and because his luck is putting him in spots that I can't really get his back, it's making it hard for me to really hit him. So he's just kind of run me over right now, which is fair.
When you have a sec, what do you think of that build so far?
I'll check it in a sec.
Yeah.
One more swing. All right, I'm gonna give it to you because that's GG. I ain't gonna be with this shit.
Yeah. I'll end it with this jump here. Or I could just...
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Don't laugh at me. Freaking missed. Good game, man.
Watch it, man.
GG.
That would be funny.
GG. Huh? I'll be right back.
Yeah. So
Hey, I
don't know
got the
what
ribbon too.